Today we are talking about the how. Hey guys, welcome to another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about concept planning, which is kind of as detailed as we can get for this long range plan. I would argue that also the how could be your lesson plan, but that's a little more short term. That's in the moment. So we're going to be talking about our last step to kind of zoom in, give yourself a really good starting point for the year. Hi, if you're new to this channel, my name is Jessie. I am a kindergarten through 6th grade music teacher, and on this channel, you're going to find videos with lesson plan ideas, ways to incorporate technology into your classroom, a lot of upper elementary content, and also ukulele. Okay guys, so let's dive into it. First video, we talked about the what, the curriculum mapping, right? What do you want your students to learn, and thinking about the progression from kindergarten through 6th grade or 5th grade. And then we talked about in the second video, scope and sequence, the when are you going to teach it? And we kind of mapped out our year with our big concepts. And then finally, we have the how, which is going to be our unit or concept plan. And this is going to be, I kind of treat this almost like a little cheat sheet for you, where you can really hand pick your resources and have them all hyperlinked in a spot. You know exactly what you're going to use for this unit. It gives a little, again, flexibility. How many times can I say flexibility? But it gives you a little area where you can pull activities, but you don't have to pull them all, but at least you have them there and you know what you have. I don't know about you guys, but throughout the years you collect so many lessons and it's fantastic, but sometimes it can be really overwhelming and you lose sight of what you really can use to teach a concept. Another thing to think about is also the timeline of your unit. Sometimes I used to do this, and I still sometimes do this, where I get wrapped up in teaching a concept, and before I know it, it's like 2 months later, and I'm like, do they know it? Like, can we move on? I know you know your kids, and you can get a really good feel, but this is just a little more intentional about when you're teaching a concept, or you're having a unit, having a starting point, having a finishing, when you're ending, and how you can test that, and all of the resources that you can use in between. So I'm going to hop over onto my laptop and I'm going to walk you through how to use this template, link down below for you guys if this is the first time ever clicking on this video. And we're going to just go step by step. All right, so we are in the concept planner that's provided for you guys. Again, it's linked down below in my description box. So this is what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with 1st grade. There are all the grade levels in here, and actually you can double click this and change it to whatever you'd like. But I'm going to start with 1st grade. And I do have also a Kodai inspired one. I am a Kodai inspired light. I took Kodai one, but I kind of like to think of it more in this way. But there is that option for you if you are a Kodai amazing person. Okay, anyways. So the first thing you're gonna start with is your standards. So you're gonna go over to your state standards and find, I'm gonna probably teach TA and TT starting pretty soon in September, October. So I want to make a concept plan for that. So I'm going to come back over and I am going to go look up the standard that matches with this and add it in here. Okay, now that we have our standard in, then what we're going to do is talk about the learning goal scale. And I know you guys, I want to bark too, but the learning goal scale, the one thing that's really made it work for me is thinking about it's the steps that your students are going to take to get to that number, level 3, to what the I can statement is. So I like to first of all just start with the I can statement. So my goal for them is that they can clap and say TA and TT patterns. And you know what, I actually just changed it to I can clap TA and TT patterns. So if that's the goal, then what I'm going to think about is what's the very first step? Well, I would say it probably would be echo the teacher, or I can echo the teacher, or repeat, using TA and TT patterns. Or let's just say using TA and TT. Then I would say for this that I can say TA and TT patterns by myself. Then 3 would be that I can clap TA and TT patterns. And then level 4, it could be I can create TA and TT patterns. It could be I can, actually I think in this progression, since we're just starting to learn it and they can clap it, maybe then they can play it on an instrument. So they can transfer from body percussion, or that could be actually another thing too, is I can perform ta and TT patterns using 2 levels of body percussion. So you just want to think of that progression. As I was saying this, I was like, oh yeah, like if I said, oh, now I can create, that doesn't really go with my goal. If my, that would be a notation goal. So I'm going to say I can play this on an instrument. Okay, so now that you have your learning goal skill, your steps you're going to take, then what I would think about is for level 1, what are all the activities that I have to help them? I keep looking down at myself. Here you are. I can't believe I just caught myself doing that. Then what I would do is I would put all of the activities that I have that I know would help us achieve level 1. So that could be a lot of things. And so what I will do is I will put in here, and you can totally change these, but I think to think of songs, movement games, games in general, books, videos, instrument, you can change it to whatever you'd like. With my Kodai inspired one, I have known songs versus new songs, and then other activities. So these are totally editable. You could add another row, but I like to think of all those categories. So I'm now going to go in the research phase, and I am going to be looking for all the things that hit level 1. All the things that hit level 2, level 3, and level 4. You could even color code if you wanted to make this a different color and then 2 a different color. You could highlight down below so you can kind of see the progression. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go into that research phase and pull all the things over. You also want to think about hyperlinking them. So I'll show you guys how to do that in a moment so that you can, with a click of a button, go back and find, what you wanted to use when you're later on in the unit. So I actually did end up color coding these because I think that that'll really help you see, what is for level 1 and you can pull from. I just filled this in with a few things, but I am running a little low on time. I don't have time to really flesh this out for you guys. I'm so sorry. But I did put in a few things just so you get an idea for how you can use this to your advantage. So let's say that I have 3 songs. I got Doggy Doggy, Bee Bee Bumblebee, Apple Tree, classics, right? So what I would do for this, and then for Move, I have Surprise Symphony. I have that Ta and TT with the tiptoeing and taking steps. I have The Muffin Man, which is in Game Plan. It's perfect. Chef's Kiss. Pun intended? What? Okay, anyways, that it helps set up Ta and TT. And then I have a play-along video for Hedwig's theme, and I'm going to show you guys how to link it. And then also Apple Tree for instruments. I have an Apple Tree or for arrangement. So let's say, for example, you find a video or you find a website and you want to hyperlink it. What you're going to do, so this is a video on YouTube. I'm going to hyperlink by highlighting, and you could click here, insert link. And then what you're going to do is apply this web address. I'm going to paste it in there, apply, and now it is ready to go. So when you come back to this, you don't have to go back and find all those hyperlinks or that blog post that you pulled from. You can just click it and go to whatever you found in your research phase, which is fantastic. Oop, copyright, I don't want that to play. Okay. And then the second option for hyperlinking is that you can hyperlink to something in your drive. So let's say that I have a PowerPoint or a Google presentation for Doggy Doggy. So this is my business drive, so I don't have a lot of my lessons on here, but let's just say, for example, we'll just pretend that I'm going to insert that link. What you can do is copy that link from your resource. Let's say that this is my Doggy Doggy slides. I'm going to paste it in there and apply. And so now, again, I don't have to go and find it anymore. I don't have to search up. I just press it and go to that document. So that is a really easy way to make it easier on yourself. You did all this work, and so you might as well have it linked already so you can find it really easily. And then finally, the other thing that I want to talk about, again, is that color coding. So I can echo the teacher using Ta and TT. Definitely, this is going to be an introduction. So I might highlight it in my green. So again, right at a glance, I know exactly what I need for level 1. I can say Ta and TT patterns by myself. Let's say, for example, in our Apple Tree, let's say Bee Bee Bumblebee. Let's say Bee Bee Bumblebee, that's what we're going to use. We're going to play the game, and then we're going to have some bees that have some patterns on there, and they can say them by themselves. So I'm going to put that level 2. and so on and so forth. So that is how you are going to use your concept planner. Another really good idea would be also putting in there your assessment. So like, when are you going to do some check-ins? You know, I think sometimes that's my weakness as a teacher. Hopefully no teacher police come and arrest me. But I forget about assessment. And I just feel like we get so much observation and I can feel like where they are, but having that formal, maybe you do centers where you get to do a check-in. I used to do write the rooms, and kids, as they were writing the room, once they were done, they would come over and I'd have a big pile of instruments and they would have to play a pattern from their write the room to me, and then they, you know, were done with the activity. So just little things like that where you could make sure you're being intentional about that. Okay guys, so that is it for this video. Concept planners are really great, but one caveat I do want to say, is that the right word? Caveat? I don't know. One thing I do want to say, disclaimer, is a concept planner is a lot of work. I mean, it's a lot of research. It can be time consuming. Just as I was making this video, I thought that I could just fill it out as I was going and let you guys know, but it does take some time, that research phase. So I would say use it for those really big units, or those things that you're going to be teaching like first grade and TTs like all, or quarter note and eighth notes are like all year, right? So think about, you know, what's going to be worth your time, and some things just don't really need that. Or I made my learning goal pretty specific. You could also think of it as a bigger scale, and maybe, you know, level 1 is that you can echo, level 2 is that you can clap and say, level 3 is that you can, you know, create, and level 4 is that you can notate, like you kind of make it bigger. Maybe it's not the learning goal scale that you're going to show your students, but it's over, you know, a quarter or 2 quarters that this is going to be. So make it work for you, and you know, you don't have to have a concept planner for everything. But hopefully as you create these, you can save them, and they can always be something that you go back to and be like, oh yeah, I do have all these activities. I found throughout the years, I would just get overwhelmed and forget what I have at my fingertips. And so organizing by hyperlinking especially, really helps you at a glance see what you have for the specific standard or goal that you want your students to meet. All right, you guys. Oh, I'm getting a shadow here. Oh well. I'm just gonna move right here. So thank you guys so much for watching. If we hit, you guys, we had 3,000. So if you made it to the end of this video, first of all, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I am so extremely excited. Thank you guys for 3,000 amazing human beings, you know, following along and learning together here on this channel. I am just so happy that you are here. All right, guys, I will catch you in the next video. Bye.